the Dallas situation is just right now, until Saturday, it's going to be pretty much a mess, right? That's when I think Anthony Davis is going to make his debut. Now, there's a shot that he plays tonight, but just not sure that they would put him out there tonight against Boston. He's gone through workouts the last couple of days. Certainly, he thinks he's feeling better, but it seems like Saturday's the more likely time for him. It's the fifth game of a 5-game road trip for Dallas. Certainly shorthanded fatigue has to set in at this point. They haven't played defense at all in the last couple of games. Not sure they'll start playing good defense here against this particular team. Boston, where the rest advantage is concerned, in real good shape. Second of back-to-back home games, and they had yesterday off. So clear advantage schedule-wise to the Boston Celtics. I'm going to go back just a couple of games ago, Joe, and look at what Jason Tatum said after they came back against the Philadelphia 76ers. I think they scored 54 in the final 74 in that game. He talked about competitive joy, how great it feels to all be on the same page again. And you take that with a grain of salt and say, okay, let's see what you do against Cleveland. And sure enough, 112-105. Not many teams hold Cleveland to 105. Boston did it. They took it. They took what Tatum said and carried it through. And I think this is going to run right through the All-Star game. There's about 4 games left for Boston. And I'll just take a quick quote from Kristaps Porzingis, who said it's important for us to finish strong going into the All-Star break. Get some rest, then have the really good home stretch of the regular season at the right moment. For Dallas, same problem, especially if AD doesn't go. There's no rim protection. 76ers had 64 points in the paint the other night. Dallas giving up 125 a game over their last 5, 28th in defensive efficiency. Just not good. I'm going to say this. Boston hasn't been good at home this year, and I'm a little bit leery to lay that many points. I wouldn't argue anybody off of doing it. It's a difficult matchup for Kyrie Irving. Remember, this is the best perimeter defense in the league. Kyrie's got to go up against it. He's the only scorer. But I think Boston comes out of the gates quick here. As I mentioned, Dallas is in the 5th of 5 road games. First half line, you can find 5.5s all over the place. I would lay 5.5 in the first half with Boston, thinking that they get the job done. This newfound mindset of playing hard, I think I'll stick with it, and we'll roll with Boston first half.
Like in the first half. Don't hate the over either. Big Daddy in the chat room looking at that one. Opened up 228. We're starting to see 230s now popping, and it makes total sense in that aspect of it. All right, another interesting game is finally Miami got rid of that pain in the ass Jimmy Butler. And now he's Golden State's problem. Now Golden State has a interesting game coming up here tonight, taking on the Lakers, who, once again, Luka will be there in the building at home there for the Lakers. And boy, oh boy, that place is going to be wild. Golden State played last night, lost in Utah, now back to L.A. What gives here? What are we looking at, Veno?
Yeah, it's a tough spot for Golden State. We just talked about 5th and 5 nights being tough for Dallas. This is even tougher, I think, for Golden State here, just because of the shyness of depth. Steve Kerr talks about yesterday's trade like this. He said, this is hard. This is the business. We know that. We talk about it periodically. Everyone moves on. You say your goodbyes. Brandon Podziemski even talked about there being tears in the locker room after the trade was announced for Jimmy Butler yesterday. And he went on to say, we're down a lot of people right now. Somebody else has to step up. That's what I'm here to do. He had 29 in Salt Lake last night. Not only is it back-to-back travel, Joe, but it's just that. It's travel from altitude in a game where it was, nip and tuck the entire way through the fourth quarter. They're not extensive minutes, but they were, tough minutes when you're trying to win a ball game. Golden State didn't do that. The Lakers, they're depth shy too. Let's face it. I mean, the trade that they pulled off for Mark Williams last night leaves them with probably about 7 players in this game. If Gabe Vincent can't go, it leaves them with 7. But at least the Lakers starting lineup has been played together the last few games, and they've looked great, right? They go to Madison Square Garden, destroy the Knicks, score 120 plus, come back to LA, destroy the Clippers, score 120 plus. Lakers seem to be on a roll right now. And again, they're rested. They've stayed at home. So travel situation, rest schedule, however you want to word it, good for the Lakers. Both teams pretty depth shy right now. I think they're just of different mindsets at this point. This specific moment, it looks like Golden State is a little more, depressed mindset, where the Lakers are pretty joyous. They got Mark Williams yesterday. This is a pretty happy team right now. I think the game plan for them, pretty simple, Joe. You come out of the gates running. LA's been scoring big lately. Why not run a team that had to play a 134-129 game in Salt Lake last night? It seems like a contest, though, where when each side only has 7 guys, that the depth on defense is not going to be there. So I think over in this game is a good look. 221.5 seems to be a bit low. I think it's reasonable. I'm going to play it that way. Golden State, LA over 221.5.
Yeah. Looking for points in that one at 221.5. I also, I think it got raised a little bit, but Hakamura with, I think he's got 15.5 points is his prop, and yet he's dropping 20 points. I think he's got 3 in a row, and no Anthony Davis. And you mentioned it. Who else is going to supplement the scoring for the Lakers, right? He seems to be a pretty go-to guy that LeBron likes a lot. I think he's going to, him and Austin Reeves, I think the 3 of them are going to have a huge game in this one tonight.
Yeah, you watch him play the last couple of games, Joe, and Hachimura is a focal point. Austin Reeves has always been a focal point. I know that our colleague Ski Prophet loves to play his assist total up and over Austin Reeves. So, yeah, you can probably find – I'm just not a prop player in NBA, but you can probably find a lot of props on the LA side that will cash tickets tonight. You,
though, are locked and loaded, ready to go for this big game. Veno, on your page at WagerTalk, we got college hoops tonight, NBA. What else you got going on there right now?
Both of those, NBA and college hoop for sure. The Super Bowl game itself is going up this afternoon. The props I'm going to put up all at once. I've got 4 done. I think we're going to have about 8 when all is said and done. They'll go up all at once, probably tomorrow afternoon. So you'll have everything ready and available. Again, the NFL, let me just say, Joe, the last couple of weeks in the playoffs, it's been good to me the last couple of years, the playoffs. Finished number 1 at WagerTalk in the playoff season last year. Last 2 weeks, 12-1 in the NFL playoffs. So we're on a really, really good roll here. I think I'm seeing it pretty clear. Once again, check it all out on my homepage at WagerTalk.com.